we protest because black lives don't matter to the police. And while you show that black lives do matter, you are the exception because you're wearing a t-shirt and they know you are a celebrity. How do you show that black lives matter if you're not wearing a Free Hugs t-shirt? If I'm just a girl walking down the street, jaywalking, how do you show that the police aren't gonna come and militarize against me?
I think even without this shirt, I'm a pretty respectful person, you know, I'm a very kind person. And I understand that in many cases, it doesn't matter how a person acts, that they can still be shot by police officers. And that's the change that I'm looking to create, you know, is when I give a police officer a hug, a lot of times the point of that hug is for him to see me as a human being just as much as I see him as a human being. Color doesn't matter, uniform doesn't matter.
How do you show that you are for black people?
Absolutely. Well, one, I'm black, so so I have to be naturally, but also, I mean, what people don't see in the videos, and trust me, just as many videos that I have out that are hugging the police, there are also videos where I'm out at events. Actually, the woman here, I forget her name, she just told me one of the most moving videos that she saw of mine was titled, "Do Black Lives Matter to You?" You know, and so it's sad that sometimes the videos that are going viral faster are the ones where I'm bridging the gap between the African American community and the police, but I can't control what goes viral. That's beyond my control. It's just my job to be able to put enough content out there for people to see. But I do have videos out there where I'm defending the African Americans, where I'm defending the Native Americans that are out there at the Dakota Pipeline as well. I understand that people are being brutalized out there. I understand that, you know, but when my Dakota Pipeline video does 1 million views, or my Do Black Lives Matter to You video does 1 million views, but a video like that does 56 million views, I cannot control that, you know, and that's just, it's unfortunate, you know, that's the way that it works. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was sharing with one of the classes earlier that sometimes what hurts the most in my work, it's not even the things that are said to me from racists. If I'm at like an event where someone is just openly racist to me, that brushes right off of me. It's when the black community calls me a coon, calls me a Uncle Tom, or even worse things, because they don't understand my work and they're not looking at all of my work. I recently received an email from a middle-aged African-American woman who all she said in her email was, "You're a disgrace to our race." Why? Because I want to humanize you, because I want to protect your son who's out there on the front line that could easily get shot by the police officers, and I can stand in between that and de-escalate that tension so that he goes home that night. And so now I'm a disgrace to the race, while she's sitting back at home as a keyboard warrior, probably just fueling it and not putting anything on the line. I'm there on the front line to make sure your sons that were there with the ski masks on make it home that night, because I'm telling them, look, it's all about love. Bring down the tension, bring down the violence. We cannot fight the cops back because the cops shoot someone. There will just be more and more police, and there will be more bloodshed. So the only way to fix those things is with love, and we've learned that since all the way back in Martin Luther King's nonviolence movement. So that hurts me the most whenever I see that come from people. And I know that you're not attacking me, I understand that. But sometimes it gets me riled up, because when that comes from African American media, because I have seen even news sites that have written, "Oh, here goes the Free Hugs guy again, coming to save the police." No, but you skip over all of the videos that I did in support of Black lives, in support of Native American lives, in support of Latinos. You skipped over all of that, and you drove up the views on the videos for the police, and then turn around and attack me for it. I can't control the media. All I can do is the work that I'm called to do. Thank you.
I really don't mean this to be malicious or anything.
Sure.
I appreciate the work that you do a lot.
Thank you.
And I would love to do it at my school. I just, to a certain extent, feel like, as you're telling me that everyone should be loved, and everyone should be loved,
Sure.
yes. But you're not telling me that black people are disadvantaged and that they are being brutalized, and that we need to get behind them to support them and I wish you could do that, but
I think,
it's your
well,
campaign.
and sorry to interrupt. My job is not to represent someone else's movement. My movement is a movement of love. And if Black Lives Matter exists out there as a movement, I appreciate them and I appreciate the work that they do. But we can't expect every single activist to follow the exact same outline and guideline of what the next activist is doing. There are tons of Black Lives Matter activists out there. So if I'm a love activist and a peace activist, then that's my job, that's my responsibility to get that out there. You know, so some people may say, oh, but you have a large platform, you can do so much change with that and help Black lives. I'm helping Black lives by allowing us to be humanized and by allowing people to look at us and saying, that's a good brother right there. What can we do to help? I really hope that you'll watch the video that I put out titled Do Black Lives Matter to You, for you to be able to understand. I play my part in making sure that people understand that we are being brutalized and attacked. I make that very, very clear in that video where I say things like, you know, they're killing our fathers out there in the street and then making fun of us saying that we're fatherless. You know, they're arresting our fathers for the same reasons that they're arresting other people. We're giving our fathers much harsher sentences for those things and then laughing at us and saying, look, none of them have dads. I'm a product of that. I don't know my dad. I'm 35 years old right now. I don't know my dad. You know, and he's alive. I know he exists somewhere, but I don't know that man. I know my white coach more than I know my black dad, and that disturbs me. So my job is not to have people say, oh, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. People may not understand that message. So my message is to be able to tell people we need to all love one another and care for one another. That's our job. And through that, then you'll be able to say his life matters and their lives matter. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do that. I can't do that by running around putting the hashtag Black Lives Matter on everything, because there are people out there that are poorly representing that movement. When I was out there in Charlotte, the people that were throwing the rocks into the hotels and busting up the glass, sadly, it was Black Lives Matter. And people can deny it all they want, but I watched them spray paint it right there on the building as they busted up the building. There are radicals from the Black Lives Matter movement that have got upset at me, saying you're supposed to be on the front lines shooting back at the cops and throwing rocks at the cops. I'm like, why? So I could be another dead brother? I don't. That's not the way I'm going to get that message out. So there are people that are about that movement, and there are people that are about my movement, but we can't get upset at one another for not doing it the same way. If your choice is to take the Black Lives Matter flag and fly it as much as you can, then that's your fight. You know, but my fight personally is for me to remind people how much love matters. And people can take that one and say whatever they want with it. And listen, I'm not on some Lil Wayne stuff saying, oh, Black lives don't matter to me and I've never experienced racism. I experience racism regularly. I understand that racism exists. I'm definitely not Lil Wayne saying, oh, what's racism? I know it's there, you know, but I can't personally take the flag of someone else's movement and expect to get that same message out there. This is my movement. It's something I personally feel that I need to do, is remind people how important love is. And I have nothing against Black Lives Matter. What they do is what they do. And I've sat down with leaders of the Black Lives Matter movement, and they say, hey, look, we understand your work, and I understand theirs. But I'm not taking up their cause, and they're not taking up mine. They're not running around giving people hugs. They don't have to. I don't expect them to. Just as much as they shouldn't expect me to run around screaming hashtag Black Lives Matter. I'm not going to do that, because when people say Black Lives Matter and then Blue Lives Matter and then All Lives Matter, all you're doing is creating more division. You're creating subsets and pockets, right? It's just creating division rather than saying, let's just all figure this thing out. We're all in it together. You know, that's what's important to me. So, you know, we may agree to disagree, but I'm doing the best that I can for my.
And he's got to go to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. So one last time, let's hear it for Ken.
Hope you guys enjoyed the presentation.
I was tearing a little.
Can I take a picture?
I'm not.
Of course, yes.
Love. Dude, you handled all those questions so well.
Thank you.
It's like, you were able to just like, I don't know, like, you were able to come back in such a good, solid, respectful way, you know? And express your point very, very clearly and concise. So, yeah, absolutely.
My phone, you ready? Appreciate it. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yay!
Thank you. Oh, you guys are so sweet. My favorite.
I'm so awesome.
Thank you so much.
I want world peace for Harold.
Thank you. Yes, we're trying to world. Oh, you're laughing now. You're laughing now. Because she said world peace. So, is that why you're laughing?
Yeah.
Because of world peace?
Yeah.
Oh, you're awesome. Take care, man. You guys don't walk on the line. I think, man. Let's get a group hug with the bears. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. You guys feel so cozy, man.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely like 900 degrees.
Yeah. This wasn't a great idea. That's beautiful. You guys should put 3 hugs on this stuff.
That's where you come in. We need some buttons or something.
I know, we need some. Or put a free hug shirt over the bear suit.
That works.
I gotta get you guys some shirts, man.
Yeah. I'll wear it right now. I'll put that thing right on right now.